You never expect your life to come apart on a Wednesday. But that's exactly what happened the night the doorbell rang at 11:42 p.m. I'd just finished washing the last dish. The radio was off, the house was silent. Too silent. The kind of silence that makes you aware of your own heartbeat. When the chime echoed through the hallway, I froze. I live alone. A small cabin tucked into a patch of forest, so thick, even the stars feel claustrophobic. No neighbors for at least a mile. I didn't go to the door right away. I just stood there, waiting to hear it again. And I did. But this time, it wasn't a ring. I opened the door. No one. Just a box. Small wooden box. The grain looked charred, like it had been pulled from a fire. When I picked it up, it was warm. Uncomfortably so, like skin left out in the sun. I didn't want to bring it inside, but I did. Inside there was a strip of parchment, fragile, almost ancient. On it, written in thin, looping script, were 3 words: "Don't forget me." I read it aloud before I could stop myself. That's when the air in the room changed, heavier, denser, and I heard it, a whisper. "Don't forget me." I spun toward the hallway. There was someone standing there. Tall, too tall, their head just below the ceiling, stooped to fit. No features, just a silhouette. Their body, it was too still, as if they weren't standing, but being held. And then, gone, like a trick of the light. But the feeling remained. A presence. I didn't sleep that night. Just watched the box, now cold, almost dead. At some point, I dozed off on the couch. When I woke up, the box was in my lap again. Still closed, still warm. I went to town the next morning, box in hand. The sheriff listened with the same polite confusion he always wore when talking to people who live too far from town. He said I probably dreamt it. I wanted to believe him until I got home. The front door was unlocked. I never leave it unlocked. Ever. Inside, the house was silent, but wrong. Everything was where I left it, except one thing. My hallway mirror. It was shattered. The shards arranged in a perfect circle on the floor, like something had stepped through it. And in the center, the photo. I don't own this photo. I've never seen it before, but it was me. Standing on the porch, smiling stiffly. Beside me was that shape, that hollow thing, a silhouette of a person. No eyes, no face, just long fingers draped over my shoulder. On the back, in the same curling handwriting, "Don't forget me." And beneath that, "You already did." That night, the dreams began. I was in my house, but older, decaying. The wallpaper curled like dead leaves. Doors leading to nowhere. And always, in the corner of every room, the guest. Not attacking, not speaking, just watching. One night, in the dream, I asked, "What do you want?" And it finally moved. It pointed to the mirror. When I looked inside, it wasn't me. Not exactly. The face was wrong. The eyes were empty. My mouth was sewn shut with black thread. Behind me stood the guest, its fingers pulling the thread tighter. In the days that followed, I began to remember things that never happened. A childhood friend named Eli, whose face I couldn't picture. A camping trip to the woods I never took, but I recalled in vivid detail. A lullaby my mother never sang, but I could hum perfectly. The guest wasn't just haunting me, it was filling in the blanks, making room. 1 week later, the final message arrived. No doorbell, just a letter slipped under my door. No return address. I opened it with shaking hands. Inside were 100 photographs, all of me. But in every one, I was slightly different and wrong. Smiling too wide, wearing clothes I've never owned, standing next to people I don't know. In all of them, the guest was there. Sometimes in the background, sometimes right beside me. Sometimes wearing my face. On the last photo, scrawled in the corner, "This time, don't forget." That night I looked in the mirror and the reflection didn't match. It blinked when I didn't, smiled when I frowned, and whispered softly, "You're the guest now." I live alone. At least I think I do. But sometimes around midnight, I hear the bell ring, and someone new finds the box. This story was written by the artificial intelligence. I'm only reading it. If you'd be interested in your story being read on this channel, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll gladly read your story. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.